44 hours later, and we finally made it. It's by far the most difficult travel day we've ever had. So, definitely a lot of issues between the plane, having to turn around. We just found out that the poopers are broken. Having to get a new plane. So we have another plane, and it's 1:20 in the morning. Getting here. Well, we finally made it to Rome after many, many hours of being delayed. Missing our connection. We lost our bag. This has been the travel day from hell. Last minute hotel at 1 in the morning, and decided to pick up the bag this morning and finally got here. Right. So if everything had worked out, we would be climbing right now, essentially, but that's okay. Went to the grocery store, got all the crap, and now we can just kind of spend the day like regrouping a little bit, because I think, at least for me, like it was just kind of chaotic and stressful, and have this over and done with, because what the fuck. So trying to just come down from that, get all of our crap laid out and figured out, and maybe do just like a little bit of exploring, because we spent a lot of time in this area, but funny enough, we've never actually spent any time here. So I'm gonna go check out this tiny little town. The Airbnb is great, but the best part about it is actually the balcony. Whee! And what you can't see is like up over that ridge is Civetta. So we're like seeing kind of the side of it, just the tippy tops, which is amazing. Somehow it's 1 in the morning and it's light out and there's people skiing. Yeah, look at all these hazards we have to deal with today. We're in a place called Malgacciapella, which is in the Dolomites of Italy, and we are not here to ski, believe it or not. We're actually gonna go climbing up in a cave up on the side of the hill. But we have to cross the ski slope first to get there. So. They've put a tunnel here. Super snowy. The cave is surprisingly really dry, which is great. And I feel like I'm a mountaineer. We are at one of the premier Drytooling crags in the world. This is Tomorrow's World. And this crag holds a ton of history, as well as is kind of the test piece crag in the world, in my opinion. This is kind of where everybody goes, and doesn't really matter what style of Drytooling you do. It's kind of accepts everybody, which is awesome. This crag was originally established by Tom Ballard, who is no longer with us, but he put up the first D15, A Line Above the Sky, which is probably also the most famous Drytooling route in the world. He also put it up in DTS style, which is wildly impressive. It also holds one of the other hardest routes in the world, Parallel World, which was also put up in DTS style, established by Derek Sokolowski. We have spent a number of trips here, and the first year that we came here was in 2022, and that's when I was able to climb Edge of Tomorrow, which is a D13. We came back the following year in 2023, which happened to be the first stop on our honeymoon, and I was able to climb Oblivion, a D14, and A Line Above the Sky, which is a D15, both of which were the hardest American female dry tooling ascents at the time, and still are. And then we came back this last fall in 2024, and that's when I started projecting Parallel World, which is by far the hardest route in the cave at the moment. And I was not able to climb it last trip, but Joe was able to climb Oblivion, which was awesome for him. And now we're back just 3 months later in 2025, continuing to project Parallel World, and Joe's got a couple new projects here too, which is great. Dry tooling is a little bit of a dark art in the climbing world, and so to have a cave, one, on this scale, but two, that is like this beautiful, is extremely unique. And because of that, it's really not uncommon to run into people from all over the world, which has just somehow made our community feel a lot bigger, which is pretty amazing. So already excited for people to come join us on this trip from other places. Today is the first day back on the route. So today is really, the focus is going to be, the main thing today is getting the draws back up and make sure that all the ones that I'm clipping are taped. And so I know all the gear. which ones I'm clipping while I'm climbing, and do probably most of the moves today. I haven't decided if I want to do the crux moves or not yet. I'm just pretty afraid of falling off and then having to like figure out how to get back up there. Really, today's goal is just to get all the way through the route, put all the draws up, do most of the moves. Okay, heck. Oh God. Oh. Take. All right, no time like the present. Yeah. Hook. I forgot I have to put that one up. first day back on Parallel World, the goal for the day was to work some moves and get the draws up. And I got almost all the draws up. I did all the moves minus the second crux because I wanted to check to see if my pick would work in the hold, and I think it does. But feeling really positive, like all the crux moves minus the second crux, like feel easier. I think the reverse grip stuff feels harder, but in general, like I'm trying not to get my hopes up because it's like, feels pretty good. feels like way better than what I left it at. So I'm psyched. I'm really psyched. Day 2, session 25, and today's goal was to get the draw up that I didn't get yesterday, as well as work the second crux that I didn't do yesterday and play on the bogey hold all the way at the end of the route. And got the draw up, climbed the 10 all the way through, which is great. And I was able to work the second crux and hit it 3 times, which is great. I think I was able to use a closer foot, and just being that much closer with the foot allows me to be a lot more static, which allows me to be a lot more accurate. And it's absolutely still a crux, but I think my percentage has gone way up. And then the bogey move at the end, I played around with it a little bit, and I just think I'm gonna have to go for the reverse grip beta on it and just know that it's gonna be hard. So, and hit the last hold too. So yeah, psyched. I don't know if it could have gone much better than that. I'm like feeling pretty good about it. Now it's just time to work on like calming everything down and getting more confident on the route, and helping my heart rate come down a little bit so I can recover on route. So yeah, psyched. These are the beautiful dancers on our Airbnb. She is especially brave. It is day 3 in the cave this trip, and session 26. And I'm warming up my fingers. The big goal for the day is to link the 2 crux moves, which I've done in the mountain project at home, but I've never done here. So I am nervous, but I think having done it at the mountain project a lot, I can visualize myself being at home, which can kind of help calm me down a little bit. If you're into hard dry tooling, you should also hangboard, but not get hurt, because I hurt my finger this training cycle. So don't do that.
Really strong.
I did it. I linked the 2 crux moves today, which I never did last trip, so freaking psyched. That's a huge milestone. Woohoo!